Now we are talking about US government increasing their interest rates. But how does it matter to us? But it matters to us because the money from here will start moving to the bond markets in US. But to a large extent, we can say that FII, that is the foreign institutional investors, the hold they had in India is slowly coming down. Because in our country, the retail investors are putting more and more money into the stock market, as a result of which the dependence we had on the FIIs is going down and down, right? That's what is happening in the US. Now, US government is planning to have approximately 3 or 4 interest rates now in this year and 8 increases during the next year. So one can imagine how much of effect it can have on the stock markets in India and in the emerging markets, right? But there's no reason for us to worry too much because, as we said, the retail investors are getting more and more powerful. Those are the guys who are investing in our own country. We talked about Sharmaji, Mishraji, Guptaji, right? Those are the retail investors because they're all putting funds into the mutual funds and your ICICI, SBI fund. All that fund will come back into the stock market, and that is the reason why I say the local stock markets will be affected. There are certain factors, of course, FII is also a factor, but we are talking about the outlook of the stock market for the year 2022. As I've already said, the objective of the video is not to tell you which stock to invest on, right? But if you keep watching these channels on a regular basis, you will get to know what is happening in the world, right? So the same factors which drove the market in 2021 will drive the factor in 2022 also. In the year 2021, the stock markets were on top. But guys, don't think that if they had done 50% increase, every year it will keep growing at 50%, because it is easier to grow from a low base. For example, somebody was failing in the examination. He was scoring 40 marks, so he can register a 50% increase and start scoring 60 marks. The teacher will teach him thoda nakli bhi marega idhar udhar, right? But from 60, registering another 50%, that is to get to 90%, is very difficult, and that's what is the concept of growing from a low base. Like 2022 was a low base, and we cannot expect everything to keep on increasing in an increasing interest rate, right? The second is the huge liquidity in the system. Liquidity, when we say, it's about money in the system. For example, if you go and speak to a trader in Chandni Chowk, you ask what is happening, he will say money is not coming in rotation. This is a Deshi Bhasha, country language, to denote liquidity. And after that, you have eKYC, which is happening in banks, which has helped the banks. And secondly, we're talking about digital revolution. You have 4G. We can hope 5G to hit our country maybe in the next 9 or 10 months, and that's going to change the whole landscape, right? Today, everybody has a mobile phone. A rickshawala has a phone, and a beggar on the street also has a phone. And nowadays, if you say you don't have change, he's going to show his numbers to you. Look at GST numbers, guys. Every month we are registering more than 1,30,000 crore. We are talking about GST, right? Like once upon a time, there used to be different prices for with bill and without bill. You speak to a trader now, because it doesn't make any difference. The evasions have come down, whether it is GST, whether it is income tax. Look at the policies of the government. Look at the income tax policy, your direct policies, indirect taxes policy. Those days, people used to send rent receipts. Guptaji, Mishraji, give it to the company. Today, if you put the AIS statement, annual income statement, everything comes out. Once upon a time, people used to say, I eat, you also eat. But today, the government is working on a policy that I won't eat, I won't allow anyone to eat, right? Has evasion come down by 100%? Absolutely not. But things are reducing, whether it is direct taxes, indirect taxes, etc. Now, look at the national infrastructure pipeline. Thousands of crores are being put into that. Not just that. Other than that, you have things like infrastructure pipeline, green energy investments. So many things are happening at the national level, guys, right? All that we can hope that they will lead to economic growth, and once the economy grows, the stock market also will go. Once the rain happens, automatically the harvest will also happen, the crops will grow. Little bit people have to work, but there are some issues also which I need to express, like for example this personal income tax. It is not my expectation what the government can do on income tax. Lot of economic experts are voicing the same opinions. Today you have 44% tax for people who earn more than 5 crores. That is very too much, and it is unfair. They are working hard. They are working as CEOs in corporates. 5 crore is nothing for them, because those guys spend their whole lifetime. They work 24 hours, and that is the reason why they get more than 5 crores, and 50% taxes go to them, right? The experts believe that that can at least come down from 44% to 30, or increase the limit from 5 crore to 50 crores. Take money from Ambani and Adani, and not from CEOs of companies. This is not fair. That is one thing which lot of economists are voicing. People like us, okay, what do people like us do? Some concession the government should do. For example, housing loans, 1.5 lakh exemption, that should go down. It's not just that, a lot of experts have already voiced their opinions through various channels. After that, there is social spending. When we talk about social spending, we are talking about what is it the government can do so that money comes to people's hand, because once consumption increases, the demand will grow up. Once the demand grows up, new plants will come up, new industries will grow up, then employment will grow up, and if the employment grows up, people will start getting money to spend. This is exactly what is called as circular velocity of money. That does not mean free electricity, free laptops. It doesn't mean that, right? There should be real money that comes in the hands of people, which can improve the economy, boost the consumption, because anything that can increase the circular velocity of money, that is what is required. And more than that, we need to have good labor reforms. Today also we have a lot of lazy people who are taking money but who are not working. Therefore, labor reforms are important. Disinvestment is another area where the government has to do something, because every year they are failing in their investment targets, whether it is Bharat Petroleum, your Container Corporation, Air India also. Of course, they have done that, but there are some issues, some strikes, etc. I'm not sure what is happening, because the government needs to work on all this. Capex is another area, that is capital expansion, especially with private companies, because nothing is, whatever should happen is not happening, inadequate. Of course, now this year they are working on that, because private companies have to bring their money into it. Today we can see every guy sitting in Jantar Mantar and saying Ambani, Adani. Guys, please understand, they are not our enemies, because government cannot give jobs to everybody in this country. Tell me why you want a government job. People don't want government schools, people don't want government hospitals, people don't want government banks. They don't like anything in the government, but they want government jobs. Why? People who are willing to work, they can work anywhere. Why is it so that everybody wants to take up government jobs? Government can't give jobs to everybody in the country. That's a change in mindset that is required. There are telecom companies, for example. Another example I would like to give, you have Airtel, you have Jio, and you have Vodafone. The guy has Vodafone shares in his hand. Must have got it for 100 rupees, for example. But he is using what? Jio's free phone. And he has shares of Vodafone, and he wants the Vodafone shares to go up. It can go up only if you consume, right? Why did the government save Vodafone? Because government does not want duopoly situation in any company, because from an economic perspective, duopoly is not good for the customers, because that will lead to cartelization. I'll be putting up a video on cartelization. I can't put everything in one video, right? We're not going to do a PhD in this subject, but please watch these videos regularly, 5-10 minutes. So in order to control all this duopoly, we need more players in the market, because that will induce the competition, so that it will benefit the consumers in the long run. And that was the reason why the government supported Vodafone, and it said there is a need for us to know all these things. That is why private capex is Very, very important. And guys, don't run after government jobs, right? But if you're very intelligent, then these things are required for your preparation for civil services also, because each of these will be discussed in IAS civil services interviews. These questions might come up in your UPSC question. There are a lot of questions relating to international economics, for example, about Jerome Powell, etc. Not like LDC or UDC or section officers where they will ask you questions, who is the president of US, right? Little complex questions, like they may be essay questions, right? So we are talking about the outlook of the stock market. This does not mean this is the only outlook. Every day I will be giving you a dosage of say 5 or 10 minutes. Do watch these videos every day. Do remember to subscribe to this channel. Please ensure to press the notification bell so that whenever we put videos like this, you will get to see these videos. And over a period of time, every day, if you listen to these videos for 5 or 10 minutes, it will help you take prudent decisions in your investments and also get to know what is happening in the market, right? Okay guys, I hope you like this video, and this is Dr. Sadashivam signing off till we meet again. Bye bye. Jai Hind.